In revitalizing a neglected part of St. Louis's riverfront, the Port Authority is giving the go-ahead for a redevelopment project south of the Poplar Street Bridge. The project includes the demolition of an abandoned 71-year-old trash incinerator 5 miles south of the arch. Today's vote allows the Port Authority to begin submitting demo requests to interested companies. The estimated cost is about $800,000, and a good chunk of that money could come from the state, the rest from ARPA funds. The Port Authority has not provided First Alert 4 with a timeline of the project or what exactly will replace the current buildings. Now, this project is separate from the Gateway South project. That is the $1.2 billion plan to redevelop Choteau's Landing, which is just north of this space. That plan calls for a mixed-use development with businesses and housing. The Port Authority says an engineer has conducted an environmental impact study, which has given the agency the go-ahead to take down the incinerator and smokestacks. Officials will monitor air quality once that demo begins.
Tonight we are